Good evening, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
And for anyone that was trying to watch on Facebook that can't hear me, for some reason the stream did not push over there. So I just put a link over there for anyone that wants to get to YouTube. Not sure why it's not working.
Uh-oh.
Technical difficulties.
So how's everyone doing tonight?
Let's see. How's everyone doing? They all look pretty good in the chat.
Oh, I see Stephen Berrier is here.
Berrier? Oui.
Berrier.
Hi, everybody's in there.
Yeah.
So
quite a few.
Yeah, there's quite a few people in there.
Yep. Larry Otis in the house.
There we go. We can start now. Larry's here.
Okay.
All right. So who's going
Why
first?
do we see play arrow on your screen? What is it?
Say it again. See a play arrow on your screen.
I don't know.
Might just be John.
Are you watching on Facebook or YouTube, John?
Oh, if John's on the website, he's got to click on the video for it to start to play.
No.
If he's over on largescaletrains.com.
Okay. Alrighty then. Well, let's get going.
All right. So I guess the first thing we can put up there is any events we have coming up, which, as always, you can find over on our website our calendar of upcoming events. And if you would like to add something to it, I believe I do have the submission working again for now.
Okay.
Unfortunately, being we're getting close to the end of the year here, the events focused around large scale are kind of weeding out. So what we have for you right now is, of course, our show that's going to be May 15th and 16th, the Great Lakes Large Scale Train Expo in Girard, Ohio. And then, of course, year after that, 2027, is going to be the NGRC in Nashville, Tennessee from May 31st to June 5th.
So I have some breaking news.
Oh, okay. What do we got?
So you guys are going to be the first to hear this. The Northeast Large Scale Train Show, which is going to be kind of revamped slightly. What they're doing is they are doing an open house June 20th and 21st. So you can actually go and run trains there on their new layout. They will also have vendors, kind of like what I said before, but it will be more of a show than just a open house. They do have a hall that's attached, I guess, to their location where they can have vendors inside, and they are going to have vendors outside in a tent. So June 20th and 21st. And like I said, they will be rebadging the show. I don't believe it will be called the Northeast Large Scale Train Show anymore.
Oh, they are? Okay, they are going to change it then.
Yep.
Okay.
So they're actually June 20th and 21st, there is that happening.
We'll have to get that on the calendar once
Yep.
they have something up. Let's see. Paul Torrey has something there. He says, the Great Train Fair at the New York State Fairgrounds will be held this Saturday and Sunday. This will be their 50th annual. Okay. And someone asked, will that show be in Palmer, Mass, that you just mentioned, Nico?
Yeah, I believe that's at their location.
Okay.
It's like John said it was like 5 or 10 minutes away from the steaming tender.
Oh, well, heck, sold me on it.
Yeah, very close to the steaming tender. So
excellent restaurant if you've never been there.
I have.
Although it's hard to keep Vinny in his seat because he wants to go watch trains.
Yeah, well, it's kind of cool when a train's going by. You can sit there and just watch it while you're eating.
Although I found it hilarious that he said as soon as he walked all the way out to look at something last year, that's when our tables would be ready. You know, sooner got all the way out there and we're yelling at him, hey, our tables are ready. There he says there's 3 or 4 shows coming up in Massachusetts before the end of the year.
Yeah, but these are not all G-scale shows, right? We're focusing on...
I wasn't sure if one of the clubs were setting up and running or not.
Well, at the big show, Connecticut and the one in January up at the Big E, the Connecticut and New Hampshire guys will both be there set up.
Ah, okay.
So,
All right. What am I looking for here? Also, I did see from Pico, they had several new items they had put up on their YouTube channel here a few weeks back. They have their saddle tank in Santa Fe. They also have a Denver and Rio Grande Western caboose. And for all you folks that are ready for Christmas already, they have a new Christmas boxcar this year. And they also have a bulkhead flat car with Christmas tree load. So you're ready to get going for your holidays.
Lowe's is already ready for Christmas.
Lowe's? Yeah, everybody's ready for Christmas already. Every place you go in.
And he said, I believe the Hudson Valley will be at the Big E as well.
Oh, nice.
Christopher Sambucci. And as Larry said, Connecticut will be at the Cheese Hire Connecticut train show.
Okay.
Hudson has been coming to the Big E as well. Yeah, Hudson has been coming. What's this one here? It's basically whether you want to be 100% prototypical or not. Most train companies were 129th, like USA, aristo-craft, and then MTH was a big proponent of 132. I know AMS made 132, so it's kind of like you buy what you like and stick with it, because some things look okay together, but some things don't.
Yeah, very true.
The other thing, USA Trains also put out that they have the Christmas car coming, and they had what was the other thing? A Halloween car. Yep.
You don't have any pictures of those, do you?
I can probably find some because they sent them to me in a link, but
I'm looking to see if I see anything real quick.
Give me a second. Of course, there's like so much junk in my...
I see USA's got a bunch listed on their site, but I'm not sure if one's new for this year or not. They don't have a year on it. Well,
Lionel catalog. Order your Lionel Halloween.
Steve Heaviside said the Halloween car is already shipped.
Okay.
Just saying.
Yes. But they are available. So I wasn't thinking to get pictures of them. Sorry.
I hadn't seen that, or I would have pulled them down.
Well, I get the emails.
And I, for some reason, still do not get the emails. I even signed up for the newsletter, and I don't get them. Go figure.
Here it is. Hold on. Let me see if I can. All right. Hold on. Let me share. StreamYard. I guess I got to get rid of that picture and go to this picture and go to... Nope, not that. Sorry, hold on. Share screen. There. Nope, that's not what I want to do. What am I doing, Andrew?
I don't know. I'm just wondering why I don't have like some cool waiting music to play right now. It'd be very fitting.
Why is it not letting me share my my screen here? You know, usually where it comes up with share your...
Yeah, you're hitting the plus thing at the bottom. Looks like a monitor.
Google Slides, my computer. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't know what I'm doing. Share screen. All right, let's just do this. Share screen. There we go. I get there eventually.
I don't see anything yet.
Oh, hold on. I'm getting there. Share. Okay.
Hey, Larry Otis, you are tech support. Let's get you on the line.
I probably shared the wrong screen now. Let me see here. You see my email, I guess?
Yes. Looking at some lawn tools, are you?
Yep. Thank you. Thank you for noticing. Let me do this again. Stop screen. There we go. Sorry. I'm sorry. Not very good. I'm not Andrew.
Waited so long, it's time for Christmas already.
There we go. Now you should be able to see it.
You ready for Christmas now?
Yes.
Too early, I know.
Let me know when you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, as soon as you click on it. There you go.
Okay. So you have, there's a Christmas car. Little Santas. Santas. Snowmen. And then they have, you can get the starter sets or you could get individual cars. They still have the 2024 car, 2022 car, Santa's elves, some pine scented smoke. Oh, here's some new releases down here.
Going to GP38, huh? Nice.
So I think they're a little late there, coming early in 2026, but a little late for Christmas, but
it's in time for next Christmas.
That's it. Pre-order, get ahead of everybody, and for next Christmas.
Absolutely. Well, all right. Anything else we need to go over?
I was just going to show this.
Oh, okay.
If you don't mind.
No, I do not mind at all.
If it doesn't take me 9 days to get there. Is that what I'm looking for? Yeah. Okay. No. So good to do a little work on the railroad. So this is the.
We're not seeing anything.
Hold on, it's coming.
Oh, okay.
Is it coming? Is it there? Is it there? It's there now?
Ooh, having a block party, huh?
Yes. So this is the elevated coming off of the dirt. At this point, you can see I'm about 3 bricks and a little bit high. So eventually this will all get covered, but this is the main line basically without having to fill in a bunch of dirt. And then off of this, it will go out onto trestles. Garden metal models, bridges, and then curve back around. But so we got that all done this weekend.
Nice.
So progress, slow progress, but progress nonetheless. Alrighty then. I'm done now.
All right. Well, let's take a listen from our sponsors, and then we'll be back with our guest, Mr. Marty Cozad.
Sounds good.
All right.
The following episode of Large Scale Live is brought to you by Splitjaw, makers of quality metal products for the G-scale modeling world. For rail clamps, expansion joints, bridges, and more, Splitjaw Products has you covered. For more information, visit their website at www.railclamp.com.
I'm not sure why those both went at the same time again this time. But it's okay.
Didn't you do that last time?
Yeah, I did. But at least I didn't forget. That's even better. All right. Well, without further ado, let's bring a man of the hours on. Mr. Marty Cozad. Hello, Marty.
Hi, guys. Nice to see you. I'm sorry I'm a little foggy here. I don't know what's up with the camera. I've tried to do everything. So
I appreciate you put on a suit for the show.
Yeah, you guys made it sound like I'm important, so I figured I got to dress like it. I had this way back at the Midwest large-scale train show. A good friend of mine let me have it, and Louis Pope gave me a sticker or a decal, so my wife sewed it on. And
I was
so
going to ask, is that was that part of the shirt or not?
What's that?
I was going to ask if that was part of the shirt or not, the aristo-craft.
No, it was not. There's actually a red rose right there, but I wanted that put on.
Got it.
Yeah, and if you want me to show you, I can show you Larry Otis's yellow Speedos. I got those on right now.
No,
God.
no, thank you.
Well, that's fine. I'll just leave it here.
You're going to get Larry all worked up now.
Yeah. So.
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. So how you doing, Marty?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Getting old.
Yeah.
I'm 66 and a half now, so I'm going to start getting my full Social Security in January.
Yeah.
But I'm not retired because I can like to spend money on trains, and so that's a problem.
Yeah, I could see that as being a problem.
Yeah.
I too know your pains of cash flow problems with trains.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I went to the dark side for a few years, and now I'm back to the garden trains and a raised layout, and it's more comfortable and pleasant. And so much easier to keep.
Than being on the ground, huh?
Yes. Yeah, I miss the scenery, and the photo behind me. All these little trees now are 7 foot tall and way out. Everything's overgrown. That's the hard thing about a garden railway. It overgrows if you don't keep on it.
Actually, yeah,
constantly picking weeds and trimming and all that good stuff.
There's the picture that's behind you, and then let's see. You sent me a picture. Let's see, and how it looks today.
Oh yeah. See, it's just. But the retaining. See, the walls. I started stacking stones and cementing them in place on steel lattices, they call it. And this stuff here is all literally, I don't know. Well, 2003 is when we started the open house, but all this stonework has been there since then.
Where was the bridge in this picture? On the right side?
It was.
Let's see.
This is the south abutment.
So this is looking the same way, right? Or is that looking
Exactly.
the other way? Okay.
Yeah. So see there, the stones were all laid on top of each other, but in 2000 and something, 8 or somewhere in there, I took and pulled it all down and then started cementing it because we had yellow jackets and different wasps. Yeah, there you go. That's about the size of the trees that you really wanted, you know. But it got to where it took me probably, I timed it, took 20 minutes per tree in to get ready for the September open house.
Ooh.
And so, because they grow back every single year. It was incredible. So
after you took that out, did your bridge get rehomed somewhere, I hope?
Yes. It is down in Arkansas right now. And I just lost his name. Yeah, somebody bought it from me. And he went ahead and got it put up and stuff. And so, and then the other 2 bridges that were on the backside, they are over in Iowa, but the guy never has got around to setting it up. So the bridges I thought would be the last thing to sell, but I was surprised. So
Steve,
but once the bridge went down, then that was kind of the end, you know. So
how tall was that bridge?
Well, you could stand under. There's picture. A lot of people take a picture. It was 6 feet tall and 25.5 feet long.
Wow.
And it was built in 4 sections. What it was on each side of the bridge in the back, there was 2 great corn cribs. And we took the corn cribs out. We had the concrete slab. And it's like, okay, now what do I do with it? You know? And when I first started to build this bridge, I was building out of wood, out of cedar, but it bowed and it was just terrible. So a shop teacher came and wired my shop and gave me an hour lesson on how to weld. And so this bridge was the result of it. It's actually 4 pieces, from a center support to the middle, from the center out. This bridge was designed to display my train. I wanted the trains displayed and not much, like through a through truss bridge or something.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being double track, which really wasn't that hard, but it cost me over $600 of garden metal catwalks to put on it. I remember when Steve first came out with those.
Yeah.
And stuff. And so, and I put the bushes at the bottom because what I didn't comprehend. See, when you build stuff, you don't have to go out and measure the bridge. You get a photo with a -9 or a Max 70 sitting on it, and you could build this proportionately. So that's how I come up with this. But when I put it together, I didn't think about the legs were only 3/4 inch thick at the base. And so it looked kind of funny. This photo, you can see the other bridge in the back because Lawrence and Gardens, when they started doing their stuff, and the guy that came up from somewhere that built all these wood trestles, I like the idea of walking through the canyon. So I was digging through the canyon until I ran into those concrete things again. So that kind of stopped me.
So did you build these mounds that were here, or was that something
Yeah,
that was there?
Yeah, no, they weren't there. The corn cribs were there, or the corn bases. A guy brought his bulldozer in, and I said, I need you to cut into this spot. It actually was about a foot deeper than what it is, but we hit a rock clay vein, and we couldn't get the grass to grow. So we brought a couple tons of black dirt back in to try to get the grass to grow, see? And so, but it was a level loop all the way around. I had the same principles as I did when I was in HO scale. I always had one large loop level for long, heavy trains. And then I had my different grades for your mountain railroad or your, different things like that. So everything that I did in garden trains, I learned from HO trains.
Did you, I wish we had like a schematic of the layout.
Oh, yeah. That would take me a while to find it. I'm sorry. I should have thought of that. Yeah. I did have, because I used to have metal and I used pinstriping tape, and I made it because one of the complements and my goal in the railroad, there's always somebody bigger. There's always somebody with more money, always somebody with stuff like that. But my goal for the railroad is I wanted it to seem like you had distance. In HO, you had scenery in front of you. You look into the layout. So that's what I did here. And the best compliment I ever got on my railroad is somebody would say, Marty, I've lost my train. Where's my train at? It would go in a tunnel, and they wouldn't know where it'd come out. It would be up on the High Line or up on the East Loop, and the name of the bridge, MLS Canyon Bridge, I was really encouraging Chad when he had mylargescale.com and stuff. And so when I first started getting into Garden Railway magazine, Mark Horowitz told me, he said, what's the name of your railroad? Well, I had never thought of that. That's before I moved here. I had 2 railroads before this. And so I was driving to the dump one day, and there's a sign on the highway that said North Table Creek. It's like, wow, that sounds like a decent name, So when I built my 1-inch train, which is actually about 3,000 feet of track goes around this thing, we named it the South Table Creek. So it was distinguishable. And then I guess I don't want to keep talking too much here, I guess, but if the photo and the image of the North Table Creek Railroad with the south end of the bridge was, I think it was Scott something. He had a blue and yellow railroad with his scheme, and he had helicopters and planes and stuff on his railroad.
Scott Zaleski, I think his name is.
Yes, yeah. And one of his cars arrived at my railroad one day, and I thought, that's a great idea, having a logo, because your railroad, like the Royal Gorge Bridge, people know the silhouette of that, but they don't know the state. They don't know all the details. So a lot of people called it the Big Shiny Bridge in Nebraska. And way back then, they had the terrible trestle that was in New York. A guy had a huge wood trestle that you could walk underneath of it on a curve and stuff. And so, anyway, it's an evolution of the hobby. When you first get in a hobby, you got sticker shock. You're shocked at how much everything costs, and that's way back then, 20-some years, 30 years ago almost. The very first thing I ever bought was a FB unit, a Union Pacific FAB unit. I went to the hobby store to buy an HO passenger train, and I came home with this crazy G scale thing. My wife thought, "Are you nuts? What is this?" It's like, it is so big. There you go. This photo here, a couple people unfortunately has passed away. My wife was working as a manager at Walmart at night, so my 11-year-old was helping me on the computer. And one day, a couple guys on here from down the Kansas City and Arkansas area said, can we come up to your house? They have weekends where the wives go off and do their thing and the guys do their thing. And so this was the very first unscheduled open house with some local people and just some guys that wanted to get together for 2 days. And we went out and ate and stuff. And you can see that rock underneath the canyon bridge had ground cover and stuff all over, because that's what I started out with until I started getting bees and wasps and stuff problems. And so it evolves. You know, you go from 10 to 12 car trains, truck mounted couplers, plastic wheels, then you go to steel wheels after the wind. And then it's like you get up to 20 to 30 cars. Okay, I got to back them in. Now it's time to go to body mount Katie's. And this is in 2004 when Chad came and did a ribbon cutting for the layout. And the container train, I bought one stack container because am I willing to change my layout? That stack container would not fit in two of my tunnels in one of my bridges. So I realized, okay, I've got to rebuild some stuff and rethink stuff. And so, but the inspiration from all these different guys coming, and as an open house, I don't believe I've ever had anything stolen. Let's see, Marty, approximately how much track is on your railroad? The old railroad, it was a little over 2,000 square feet or 2,000 running feet. I was shooting for 3,000 feet by 2013 was my goal.
Woo.
And because Aristo always had buy 4 cases, get the 5th one free at Christmas time. And my wife never had a trouble with track because track kept me busy for a while. Cars, yeah. UPS, she got so tired of seeing the UPS truck show up. Oh, you got 4 more hoppers. Yeah, somebody told me they heard I was looking for UP hoppers. And so, you know, now I finally got it's taken me 25 years to get up to 100 cars. And as a winner, go ahead. Let's see, do you have a G-track layout? Yes, Ted, yes. I recognize you too. Yes, I have a double track raised main line, and I decided to correct a lot of stuff. So I have 16-foot radius. That's the widest I could squeeze in, and some of it's right over top the existing track, and it goes into the shed. That's the best thing anybody could do is go into your shed or shop or garage, and then if you can, go back. Mine goes right through it. And so, yeah, this here video is on this raised track, and there's 100 cars, each individually numbered. That's what you do in the wintertime when your wife kicks you out.
Shoot.
You repaint every one of those, and Stan made decals with different numbers. Every one is consecutively numbered. The 2-9s was pulling it the first time around.
So this is on your current layout?
This is on my current layout, yes.
Okay.
Is that your
big boy?
Huh?
Is that your big boy?
Yes. When I swore years ago I'd never have a raised layout, but I was at the Orslyn Farm and Country Store, and I asked her, I said, I wish I could get some number 2 cherry chicken grit. And she goes, well, we just happen to have some because somebody else ordered it and they decided they didn't want to pick it up. And so that, once I found, I like this raised layout has what we call ice and water shield underneath of it. You put it on the first row of your house when they're shingling it and up the valleys. And so I put it all underneath there and folded it over the edge. And then that helps. I like to have a little bit of scenic. See how tall the trees are behind there? Yeah. That's part of the north loop there. And the tunnels are back in right in front of the engine now that you're going. There's 2 tunnels still there today. But I took this video so you could see. Now this loop here has actually been extended another, I think, 40 or 50 feet south. So it's about 120 feet long. The same scale can definitely.
That is true.
You know, once you've established it, you just got to keep building it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? The other thing is I'm in the situation now where I'm selling off some of the older cars I have to buy newer cars that I want. So,
Yes.
changing interest and direction of some things.
Yeah. And that's why I was always, as they called me, a Aristo fan, because I like the direction of the modern stuff.
Yeah.
And I like USA stuff, but with I have, I don't remember how many I got now of the auto racks and stuff, but I got 2 or 3 boxes of just parts that fall off of USA trains. And, the chains and even AML with the 3-bay hoppers, you got those chains. Every once in a while they'll catch on a stick.
Yeah, I've lost a few of those.
Yeah, so there's certain things I just pull off. So right now you'll see when the train almost, but that whole curve there has been moved clear down. Yeah, so that's the end of the train right there. That's 100 cars.
Hey.
And right here, you can see at the bottom of this screen, that's where the part of the storage tracks was. That was what we call the, I hate that when I lose somebody's name. Rick Golden Terminals was right here at the bottom. The patio is sitting on where that was full too. That's where I had a cold train, a stack train, a hopper car train, it's how it's it. I mean, if 5 cars are good, why not 10 or why not 20?
So this is basically on top of your old layout.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. What you see at the bottom of your screen, there's actually an 18-inch or 16-inch wide cement walkway all the way out, and that's where I used to have double track main lines. And so,
yeah, okay.
New layout. See, all my clearances near the end was I went online to find out who made the biggest engine, because I had one guy bring a 7/8 inch scale narrow gauge to run on my layout.
Oh, wow.
So he had like a 7-inch wide plow. So I had to make sure everything fit for his. And that's the biggest engine I've ever had on this layout.
Phew.
For the old layout.
Yeah, I had my friend Tal bring over his K27 because that's 1 to 20.3, and that's pretty much the biggest engine.
Yes. Yeah, that has like a 6.5-inch snowplow.
Yeah.
And when you start going, see, these hopper cars with the steel wheels and no load is literally 4 pounds apiece. USA passenger cars are 10 pounds apiece. So and my Dash 9s, any one of my Aristo engines all have the extra weights in it. So you got a 22-pound engine pulling how many cars that weigh 4 pounds? See?
Yep.
And so you have to start weighing this out. I have not broken a coupler yet, but the body mounts really make a huge difference when I have to back stuff into storage and stuff. So
if you ever disconnect your engine and try and pull by the front coupler,
oh yeah,
it's amazing. Like, you think of these as little toy trains, but it's amazing how much, force it takes to pull up.
Yeah.
And that little engine is doing it, which is incredible.
Yeah. Well, the thing too, I used to have rotary snowplow and stuff. And, again, I'm trying to make, Marty, no, I'm strictly battery. That's a good question there. Chuck, what happened was a good friend of mine, Donnie, he's still alive, but he sold all his G stuff. He's most of my friends are 10 years older than I am. And one day we had this layout. I was getting much larger building, the layout, how it grows. And he goes, you got a trackside engineer, you got a DC battery. So why don't you just go ahead and make, onboard RC unit? So that's how I got started. Hi, Bo. Good to see you. Bo came down with his son and his wife. His wife sounds like she's pretty decent as far as letting him spend money. My wife will never catch up with me on how much. Yeah, there you go. I got an onboard I'm glad you got these videos.
Yeah, I figured I'd look and see what I could find.
Well, this ABB is the F9 or F7 that USA puts out, and trains. They had anyway. They had them priced real low because they said the engines don't run. Well, I opened it up and it had a trackside engineer inside of it,
Oh.
and so it's like, well, I use those. All of my Big Boy and my Hudson and my Northern 8444. They all have the bigger trackside units in it because, you know, they take a lot of amps through them. And this piggyback train up here is from, Valley.
Ole Valley.
Ollie Valley?
Yeah. And he told me, and I could be wrong on this, but he said somebody had one of my old cars that I made, but it was pretty flimsy. So he made them out of steel. And so this video is with my old camera. See, there was a scratch right there in the front of the screen.
This might look familiar to you, Marty.
Oh, there you go. It's still holding together, huh?
Yep.
See, finding the right glue. I could buy polystyrene for 4x8 sheets on it, but I was never in the detail underneath of it.
Yeah, there's not much underneath.
That's my weak point is detail. I have a 1-inch scale E9 unit with 6 motors in it, 3-axle trucks. And I'm down to the detail thing. That thing, we've never been able to lift it off the ground. We don't know how much it weighs. It's got 4 pickup batteries in it.
I was going to say, Marty, the person that has, I think, 1 or 2 of the ones you'd built is Matt Russell. I remember seeing him in one of his videos.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. And see, that's where a lot of times the names, I have customers. I've been in remodeling for 40 years. I have rental units and stuff and my church friends and stuff. And it's like pretty soon all the names start.
I get it.
Yeah.
So how many, got a question, how many feet of track is on this layout?
Oh, I knew he was going to ask that. I'm thinking they're like 100-foot loops, 120. I think it's 100 foot from this end to the other, so you can kind of guesstimate. So.
And that's with the expansion that you just did?
With the expansion, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm glad you said that. Now, this bridge we're going over right here, a friend of mine passed away, and his wife said, "Can you come and help tear my deceased husband's layout up?" And I said, "Yeah, would you mind selling me the track?" She said, "I'll just give you the track if you tear the layout up."
Hey,
a lot of it's smaller curves, but I broke those up into sets for my grandkids. But that bridge, she said, "You made this bridge and he never did install it." So I made a duplicate of it so I could have a dual bridge there. And there's Colorado Model Station. I love Colorado products. And
we saw it when the train was going by. You could see one of the tunnel portals on the ground.
Oh, yes. Every tunnel portal was cast concrete. And there's another Colorado building. And you can see where the old bridge was to the left right there. See, right there's the abutment on your left.
Okay.
That was it. I had a lot of bridges. I like bridges. And so this is supposed to have from right here, there's supposed to be 3 bridges. I have the steel, and there's part of the grain elevator. That grain elevator, the silos came from the original grain elevator on the big layout. And so did all these pipes and stuff. But having a ballast on a raised layout, just for me personally, kind of adds a little bit. Now that storage thing there, I can open up. There's 5 tracks. It's 32 feet long. And so I can bring an engines out of, see right there's where the engines come out to the left. Oh, there you go. Yeah. That was expensive. They didn't have scrap pipes. I went through the utilities. I think they were 8 or 10 inch diameter. I can't remember the water pipes.
Actually,
and I had to buy full ones of that.
I think there's an overview of your layout in that bottom corner there.
Oh, yeah. That's of the south end. Yes.
Yeah.
It actually has about 4 stages.
That was all in the aristo-craft catalog for those of you that remember.
Well, Lewis liked my photos. He was a big fan, but Mary Ann liked product photos. So that's where sometimes I sent photos in. Lewis wanted it, and she goes, "Well, Mary Ann wouldn't let me put it in the catalog because she wanted the mallet to be sitting on the blue." There's several photos where it's sitting on a shiny blue table with no track, because some of their photos they put on the cars or engines were off the track when they took
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that.
yeah. And so coal trains are just a common sight anymore. And my son works at OPPD about 5 miles to the northeast of this photo, and they can unload their trains pretty good. I miss Colorado stuff. Oh, you bet. Yeah, I don't know whatever happened to Bruce's stuff. Bruce, when I got to know him, I loved getting to know these aftermarket guys and some of these guys who had these small businesses. And you have a YouTube. Yeah, my YouTube channel is, well, yeah, it is. North, it's the initials, capital, North Table Creek Garden Railroad.
Andrew just shared, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. And those two -9s, there's 44 pounds of locomotive pulling those. And
is there extra weight in those or no?
Yeah, the extra weights, yes.
Okay.
The big boy weighs 48 pounds and the tender weighs 18 pounds. And it has its own battery and RC contained. What I don't like about 8444, the Northern, is you have to take the whole end of the tender out to get into the inside of it.
Oh.
So I decided, instead of drilling too many holes in it, and I didn't want to devalue it, anyway, I put the RC unit and a fan in there, and I hook up whatever car's behind it as a battery car. So, but the big boy is so easy to convert to battery. There's 2 brown wires underneath of it, and they come up from the bottom. If you put a DP double pull, double throw switch, you could go put a track or battery power and run an extra plug to your tender. And that other engine of that GP40 was used to help pull some of the coal cars out as I was putting them on the track. And it stalled right there because it couldn't pull any more of them. I just realized that. So
this is, you said this is, you had, so before the North Table Creek layout, you had 2 other garden railroads?
Yes. My very first garden railroad, I mean, yeah. We were still having kids. We have 4 sons. And my very first circle of track was in the dining room with the FB Union Pacific and no A unit with an HO power pack. So I bought the B unit. I bought the circle of track. We had Tonka toys, and we had Lego blocks. And that was my very, very first one. So I tell people, and I never took pictures of it. I never thought of it at that time. And then I had 2 double loops because Aristo, all they had was the tight radius curves, and you can't hardly use those for it too much. And so then when we moved to another house, we bought a big Queen Anne Victorian, and we remodeled it. Let's see, different numbers. Yes, there's different numbers. Oh, you better believe it. If you look at some of my passenger cars, there is somebody sitting on the toilet in the USA passenger cars. So that's what you do when you're absolutely bored to death and it's wintertime and it's 10 degrees outside. So, but yeah, and then so this layout is actually my 4th or 5th one.
Wow.
So, and the Big Canyon Bridge, again, I had this weird, I feel like Sheldon Cooper sometimes on Big Bang Theory. And I always wanted trains to run. I hated it when somebody would invite me to their house and I'd look at their railroad and nothing would move the whole time I'm there. So when I built this canyon bridge and that whole loop, it was completely finished up to installing the 2 switches. And then the line was opened up within 24 hours. And so each time we had an open house and somebody gave me new ideas, then I would change. The reason this railroad become double track is I had so many parking sightings. After a while, you had to run, you're running 20 to 30 car trains. So you're sighting. Well, pretty soon you might as well put all the sightings together and make a double track main. See?
Yeah.
And so, are you reading the magazine on the throne? I have a picture of my granddaughter reading a magazine on the throne.
No, he's asking the person you put in the passenger car. Are they reading a magazine?
No. Okay. No, I was not able to do that, Larry. I'm sorry. That's a little too personal.
And then Jeff asked about the magazine. That's from February of 2003, Jeff. You can probably find some used copies of it out there if you search.
What's the date? I can't see it on here.
It says February 2003 is when that came out.
Oh, okay.
And, I think you could still order back. Can't you order back issues from Gardner Railways?
You might be able to. I have a number of. I did not get to Jin Bang. His big layout.
Yeah.
When he was on a lot of times, if somebody's on the cover, I tried to get together and with them, take a photo of them, sign it. I have autographed copies of a number of magazines.
Oh, wow.
And so I also have my signature cars from the East Coast show, and then Lewis Polk did the Midwest show and the East Coast show. And so I have a friend of mine, his wife gave me his G gauge box car because he showed all the different scales with Missouri Pacific. And when Larry passed away, I was at his funeral, and Margaret gave me the box car, and inside the box car is his memorial, his little thing they handed out. Yeah, there you go. What control system brand are you? I am stuck with the Revo. I've been able, now that I found what's his name? JK, I think he always goes by.
Yeah.
Revolution. I sent 3 of them back, and he fixed them for $25 a piece. And he says people blow the same thing out all the time, and he's got the parts.
Yep. There's two fuses on them, and then the MOSFETs are the other thing that go.
Yeah. See, so, but yeah, and I had RCS for a while when Tony was around. I had a few of his products, but I made the mistake of if you turn the controller off before the engine's off or something, they all take off full speed. And I wrecked a bunch of stuff with those one time. Whoops. And when AirWire came out, I looked into that. But there again, you get into a habit, And with people who say that battery power RC is too expensive, I think if you go back to that magazine photo, you'll see a stock car. We all were told to keep them cool. So I had a track side inside of a stock car. And so I eventually, what you do, like right now, I have about 6 battery cars. So if you came to my house, I have battery and or RC battery cars. Like if you're going to run my stack train, I got a stack car set up for that. See? And so I tried to make it to where people could come with their engines and run. I had a young man come with an egg lighter. He said his grandma gave it to him. Well, it had the RC plug on, so he said, I've never been able to run it. So I hooked up a small battery car to it, and he spent an hour on my raised layout running that thing around. He said, that's the first time I've ever run it. He had it for 2 or 3 years.
That's what I always liked about the aristo-craft, having the track battery switch and set up already. And
yeah. So Lewis tried to get the other manufacturers to do it, but they, And what gets me is my RDC that I got, I just bought the Revo diesel sound. And it's like, how does that diesel board know that it's in an RDC? Because it sounds like an RDC motor, where Phoenix, you had to program it for each engine that it was going in.
Yeah.
So I'm amazed. I've been buying even the steam. Chris Dixon, Chris had on his website, how he pops up stuff, and I can't keep up with it sometimes. But he had an 040 Aristo, and I seen the plug on the tenor, so I had to have that. I didn't know that the 040 was updated with the control board in it.
Yeah, the last run was updated.
Yeah. And so then I bought a Steam thing for it, and I have a battery card. You remember Harry Hartman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Harry is a sweetheart. He's a friend of mine. He came to one of our open houses. The only open house that I had stomach flu, and I was sick in the bathroom for all 3 days of the open house. But I got a Harry Hartman car, and I use a double door box car, and I use that for my battery car for that. That little engine sounds so good, and it runs so well.
Yeah.
I was impressed. So, and John Miller, he sold me this recent RDC3 car because I was building 1-inch when they came out, and I hardly ever seen anyone run them. So that's why I kind of fell in love with it. He was kind enough to sell it to me because he was going to repaint it and stuff. But I said, Chicago Northwestern matches the other one that I got. And so those are going to run as a pair. I'm waiting for people. I've got Vernon sending me some more packs of USA People to go in them. And I think I just posted the vid. Well, I didn't post a photo of I just got the lights all soldered in the roof part today. So the thing is, I want to emphasize to people, yes, these are toys, but yet they're expensive toys. But the amount of time that I spend enjoying working this, if I do mess something up, I usually know somebody who could fix it. Or if I break something, I know several of you guys who have 3D printers now. So now I've got access to parts. See? And before Aristo went under, I stocked up on 3 or 4 motors and the gearboxes that go in these Dash 9s and stuff. But there again, now Bachman's making them. But I'm stocking up on stuff because if I live to be 78 or 80 years old and one of these engines go bad, they're worthless without the motor block in it. You know. And Chris Dixon, I shouldn't keep talking about him all the time. But every once in a while he'll call me up and say, Marty, I got an engine that somebody just trashed the inside of it out. Oh, matter of fact, that one engine, he had a Dash 9 that someone painted the side of it all black and stuff for Santa Fe. And he couldn't unload it, so he unloaded it on me. I stripped the body down and made it in Norfolk Southern and the employee special. And then Circuit City, Brad, is it? Or
Matt.
City? Matt at Circuit City, he took and made the decals for me. So now it's fun because I feel like I have a one-of-a-kind engine.
Yeah, it's always nice when you have something nobody else has. That's what I kind of like when, I pull out one of my trains that nobody else has running.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just something you pull out of a box and put on a track,
Yeah. And so, and then this hobby, people always share. I'm so impressed with the people's willingness. This is how you fix it. And that's why I like to. Mark Horowitz had something in one of the magazine on the back cover. He always asks you questions. He said, what have you done wrong that you wish you wouldn't have done in the hobby? And I said, I've never done anything wrong. I did what I was capable of doing and the parts I had available. When something came out, then I did a better job at it. See, it's a growing stage. You don't have, if you mess something up, it's a toy. But if you make it really cool, it's a model. This is what I mean? Okay. That was sad. What was sad, Chris? Oh.
The Dash 9 that he sold you.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Okay. Yeah. And, I had another friend that I cannot believe they gutted the board. And I like to get all the lights working, directional lighting, dash light. I mean, that's, even if it takes me, some of those engines I've worked on, it takes me 3 nights, but I use 9-volt AA batteries, and I don't want to burn something out. So if you put a AA and the light doesn't go on and you reverse it, see, you can test stuff without having a problem. One time I got an engine from Chris that the motor block was smoking. Well, I took it clear apart, greased everything, checked everything. Well, something had got bound up. But I used such low voltage that I didn't. I could tell it wasn't working, but I didn't smoke it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And after taking both motor blocks apart, working on them, enjoying the evening, having my popcorn, my radio, and my pop next to me, you know, I had that engine up and running. So that
Those are always the good buys when you buy an engine from somebody. They go, "Oh, it doesn't run," and then it's just like, I bought one. The switch was dirty.
Oh yeah.
And I cleaned the switch out and switched it from track to battery and back to track, and then the engine started running.
Yeah. So it's but the size doesn't matter. I've gone to people's layouts where they have a beautiful layout in their small backyard. The patio is set up. They got a nice water. It is so relaxing to go to someone else's place and watch the train. I don't need long trains all the time. I get bored to death at my house. You know, Nico's building his railroad. He's adding it, and it's growing. And what's killed me is I've run out of dreams. I don't have any dreams anymore. I've done everything. I bought this acreage. The first thing I did was, where's the trains going to go? Before I even looked at the house. I can remodel the house. That's no big deal. Where's my trains going to go? And so, and my wife will tell you that too.
Yeah, that's one thing we look at when we look at a new house.
Yeah,
we've moved a few times, so yeah, it's definitely a concern when we're looking at houses.
Yeah, and so, and I like Chris he's got a bay window caboose, a southern caboose in his backyard, and I keep thinking about that, but it's like, someday I'm gonna have to get rid of it. And that's why when we built the big shop for our business, we didn't build too big, because an acreage, if you have something that you can put combines in, is too big for quote acreage type people. You know what I'm saying? And so I got a 32 by 50 building, and one side of it's welded, and one side of it's, my opinion, it's more fun to run trains with others. Oh yes, John, you got it. Yeah, and I miss that. Our club, I was one of the founding members of the River City Railroaders, and we got one young person in it, but he's got an HO layout and stuff too. He's a Fulmer. He does great videos. But there you go. And those are usually the mylargescale.com members. We always had more than that. But see, those trees were just about another year or so, they'd be the right height. And so, but the problem is, building a railroad is wonderful, but maintaining it is a curse. And so I have deer come through there, raccoons come through there. But the bridge was a highlight. See, now, if you look at this photo, I'm on the far right side. Well, that hill was put on purpose to help stop the wind from the southeast hitting the big bridge. And so that's how the design was. And there actually was a live steam one there in the middle. But it was so hot there that we decided to take it back out again.
Yeah, it is a constant chore to keep the track clean.
Yeah. So, and I use concrete roadbed because that's just, I'm a builder, a home builder, remodeler. We do restaurants and stuff. And, to me, it was no big deal. I had it all screwed down, and I didn't have to worry about deer walking on it, breaking the track or anything. And once you go battery, the only thing you have to think about is how long will the battery last based on how big a load you're pulling. And so, True. And see, I like the battery car system because
then you could swap out the battery car, right?
Yeah, you do a station stop, switch them out, and then you're off again. Otherwise, you got to pull the engines or something. And that's what we had at the 1-inch track. I got a 1-inch deadline because people will go in, I got filled water and I lost my boiler pressure. So they have to pull off the main line and get out of the way so that the next people can go on past them, without tying it up.
Do you know what happened to John DeCallis?
No, I don't. Does anybody know?
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
last time I ever saw him was at the East Coast show.
Okay. That's missing people. Yeah, I remember Mark Oles. I remember before he had kids and stuff, watched his kids grow up. And there's Max, our German Shepherd.
Yeah. Looks
Now
like
that
quite
you
a
can
few
see,
people there.
you can see the stones, the rock over on the right. I started building over there too. I found these stackable stones that I fell in love with. They're 70 pounds a piece. And they blended in with the type of every rock that you see in that canyon was hauled in. We were working framing houses with another contractor up north of here. So I would go with the truck and trailer, and I'd work a 10-hour day, and I'd hand load all the rock that I wanted. Hand picked it out, brought it back from my canyon because there was no rock here. One time we made a mistake. We took a skid loader and dumped the rock in, but most of it I couldn't lift, so I had to bust it up in pieces. So every tree and every rock that was brought in, it came from somewhere. It was free. The word free doesn't mean easy.
Every time I go up to my mother, I bring a couple milk crates because she's in Pennsylvania, and I load up the milk crates with rocks and then bring them down here.
There you go. You do, yeah. Most of mine are all
charged for rocks.
Huh?
Yeah, those are free.
Yeah. Well, the word free is very compelling.
Yes.
And, you know, Robbie at RLD Hobbies has always worked with us good, too. He helped me get into the one-inch stuff. He sold me a box of rail, and it sat here for a year until I started watching videos of 1-inch, and I say, well, I can do that. I got, I use 32 ties in an 8-foot section, and I have over 3,000 feet of track. So every rainy, stormy day, you're in cutting ties and pre-drilling them. So that shows you how nuts we can be.
Are you using wood ties?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tear down my tunnel is made of old decks. The older treated lumber, CCA treated, is a lot better than the new stuff. The new stuff is it's just die cut. We built a deck for a banker 7 years ago. I had to go replace some of the joists already, and they're off the ground, and they're just falling apart. There's no termites, no carpenter ants. They're just disintegrating. I wanted to say hi. Cool.
Hello, Sambucci family.
Yeah. And so, and then the photographing too, I got into it because I had people come to my railroad and say, I'll never be able to do that. And I said, well, I used to say that when I looked at Garden Railway magazines. And then I realized those were all staged photos.
Yeah.
So once I figured out how to use my camera to see if I'm doing something right, if it looks realistic, and I had, when I was in the Central Iowa Garden Railway Club, we had in the wintertime car art. So people would do car art or graffiti on their stuff. Well, I had this USA hopper car that had graffiti on it. And then the lady said, look at the photo. This is the real car, and he's got a model of it. I said, no, hon, that is the model. She said, no, it's not. And so, and Mark Horowitz, him and I used to get into it. He'd say, Marty, you cannot take a good photo in bright sun. Well, I set out to prove him wrong. And one guy sent me a photo he's driving down the highway taking a picture of an engine, and all the background is blurry. So, okay, how do I recreate that? Well, I put a piece of track on a 2x4, 10 feet long, and I duct taped the board from the engine with a camera and a timer. And it took me a few tries, but pretty soon I created the motion blur and had it's a BN SD45. And then I reversed it where the camera sat still and the engine went slowly. The camera, once it gets so dark, again, I don't know how to run the camera, but I know that automatic, once you get into the evening, pretty soon the timer will go off. And I got motion blur with the engine going by, and stuff. So those are just, and snow. I don't know if you've seen, I used to do snow. I love snow.
I don't miss snow.
Oh, yeah. Well, out here, my wife knows if it starts snowing before we get icy rain, then I'm home running my train. There you go.
Okay, I'm trying
That
there you go.
engine, the only thing is I think the headlight's not on. I didn't have the battery hooked up to the plow at the time. But that engine would be going around at, 10 miles an hour, and I'm slowly taking photos. I'm rail fanning on my own backyard. That was my theme.
And there's a Malay in the snow too.
Yes. Yeah. And I love that Malay. I've bought a couple of them and sold some of them and stuff. But the snow was just a challenge. Once you go outside, then it's hard to have. Of course, I live 120-year-old houses. We don't have basements. We have cellars. They're 6'6" tall, and they're brick little, looks like a prison down there, We built brand new houses that have beautiful, Robbie said this next batch is coming this month. It's supposed to be on the container now. And they're all new numbers. He knows how weird some of us are. And so when he asked me that, I really didn't think they would sell very well. But my kids, I wanted to have one for each one of my kids. Now I'm going to have one for each one of my grandkids. And I want to sign it, for my grandkids or say something special to them. The one thing you don't realize is even though the kids are little, I miss my grandpa. I might have been 10 or 12 years old when he died, but I missed him, And so each one of us grandparents need to think about that. I do battery power in the snow.
So even back then you were still, so pretty much since you started, you've been battery power, correct?
Yes. Once the trackside train engineer came out and I put it in a tender from then on. And what Lewis come out the SD45 and they had the plugs on them. Cool. Okay. I got two SD45s. Well, how do I MU them? Oh, Marty, we haven't made the plugs yet. What do you mean you haven't made the plugs? Well, Tony from RCS sent me some plugs so I can make my own. It's like, Lewis, are you kidding me? You got 2 engines, but you don't have the little 2-inch jumper plug. But no, that's it's the railroad took on its own life, but it was always a joy. We looked forward to it. But as I told you guys before, I found out I had lead poisoning and depression and suicidal stuff. I mean, when I canceled the last open house, I was literally, my wife was having to watch me and stuff. Fortunately, my beliefs told me I knew where I'd go if I did do that. And there's Paul. Paul's been to the house a couple of times. Paul's a wonderful guy. I don't know where he gets all his money. He travels the world and still buys trains. Like, oh my goodness. And so
I always think about you when he posts because he's got the town of Cozad on his layout.
I know. To me, that sounds so weird. And that's why our company is called Shelter Home Service, because your home is your shelter. So we service it. We work on it. Marty's carpentry or construction, Cozad, it just didn't sound right, And our rental properties, we call them Shelter Home Rentals. And we have, 6 properties, about 18 units total. And we just feel blessed because we have people who've been with us for 13, 14 years as renters, And we tell them as long as we stay in the black, then we're going to keep our costs down. So people, you hear in Denver, the homelessness and some of these places, and it's like it's all about greed, So not everybody's on drugs who are homeless, And so.
So just there's a question down there. I would say the bigger the curves, the better.
Yes. 20-foot diameter was my biggest on my ground level layout. But I found out it was cheaper to buy 4-foot 6-inch track because when you went to 5-foot lengths, UPS charges jumped up.
Yeah.
And then I think Robbie or a couple of people come out with the double rail bender. I used to do a belly bender, you set it over your belly and stuff. But once we get the double track bender, then that was
it's a killer putting more weight on it to bend larger diameters,
Oh yeah. Yes. And so But Robbie was kind of, after I closed the thing. See, we also had a problem. We had the Missouri River flood a couple different years, and that cut everybody in half. So we lost everybody from the east with open houses. During COVID, I had a garden train and a ride-on train open house because I was a private person. Great. Yes. Oh yeah, and Ollie's there. Yeah. I still want to get out. My back hurts when I drive too long. My father-in-law is 5.5 hours away, and in my wife's small van and stuff, after 2 hours on the road, my back just starts hurting because I got scoliosis, and I didn't know it until 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And that's why I built the raised layout, because my 4 and 5 discs, they said once they start touching, they're going to have to do surgery on me. And so we used to shingle houses. We've shingled churches, restaurants.
That's probably why your back is hurting.
Yeah. Well, they said that the strength is what I didn't even realize. That nobody thought to X-ray me until right near the end. We were building the deck on the head guy of the hospital, and he said, "Marty, you need to go home. You can't even hardly walk." And I said, "I just got to get tough." No, my pelvis was out. My disc. I mean, I was so swollen. I slept on the living room floor for 8 weeks. Because I couldn't make it up the stairs. And I was running the business while my sons were running and doing their thing. And so, I miss those babies.
I found that on Ollie's Facebook.
Yeah, I don't know if Rex is on. He's probably not Rex. Rex isn't probably on here now.
He does sometimes. I forget what screen name he goes by, though.
But this here, my wife found out that I had bought another unit. And I said, I'm going to make it into a B unit so I can write an article because that'll help pay for part of the engine. And then also Walther's had a large scale catalog.
Yep, I remember those.
And that was only one time. And they kept asking me for photos because nobody else was sending photos in, and they were really bad photos. But these girls was the pride of my railroad. I had the spark arresters on them. The only thing I didn't get was the blinking light on the tops of them. And, but then Rex started bashing 2 A units together. And so he's kind of took over. He's very good at that. But I always have to kid him because I had the first B unit before he did.
Where, do you know who has yours now or no?
These engines here were over in what do they call it? The dark forest of the UK. Robbie sold it, and then someone else bought it. And this photo, the guy sent it to me. I can't think of his name, but he sent these to say these were your engines, but they had all new motor blocks because they were run so much.
Okay. It says it's Tommy S. Garden Railroad.
Yes, and he's thinking like Jen did. He's thinking outside the box. He's got a big area. And so the hardest thing is just blending your scenery in with your track and stuff when you get too big. It's very hard to do that.
We have a question down there. How high off the ground is your raised layout?
Okay, my raised layout.
I guess it varies, right?
Yeah, inside the shop is 4 feet off the ground, but outside it's 3 feet off the ground. But the new area goes out and over to where I can actually ride the riding mower underneath the bridge. That's the main reason I did it. I had to use a weed eater or a push mower inside or a swing bridge. And Robbie looked at my swing bridge thinking about putting one on his, but I increased the thing to where I can ride a mower. So part of it's 5 feet off the ground, but I got pictures. If you go on my Facebook thing, you can see my grandson walking along with a new train. I just posted that today. It's about 2.5 feet, but it's level all the way around. I did not use a transit. I used a 4-foot level. And when I got to both ends, I was within 3/8 of an inch, and I thought that was halfway good for not using a transit.
Let's see.
But my raised railroad is, see there, that bridge there is a big pain in the butt. I took that out. The heat, and see, I used to have a Y going across there. That's a good photo act. But see how the chair is? A guy could sit there and steam up his engine. And so I decided I wanted it to be comfortable for see right there. There's 3 steps going up and over. Now this reverse loop is all gone now because nobody ever used it. And so, yeah, there you go. That's the beginning of it.
So are your posts actually in the ground, or did you just use the
They're in.
ground
Yeah,
anchors?
I don't want shaky. A heavy, fat guys like to lean on stuff. And so I actually have deer jump over this. The deer to this photo to the right is my wife's gazebo. We have tall brome grass up in there. Last winter, the deer bedded down there because it's the highest point on the property. They can see anybody coming, but we have found several brand new baby fawns in that area. So the deer jump, and behind this photo up behind there is the 1-inch tunnel going around for the trains, for the ride-on trains. It's a 5-foot tall tunnel.
So you have a tunnel on your ride-on trains too?
Yes, and I have a 65-foot wood trestle.
Nice.
At the south end. I have 13 feet in elevation for that railroad. And for years, I was told a ride-on train has to have level ground until I seen St. Croix videos. And I thought, well, I'm running battery power. I'll just put on a second unit. So I have a cow and calf UP, and I got a Pacific. Friend of mine up in Pennsylvania, he flies for Jet Airlines, so he flew it down to Kansas City and brought it up here. I bought the chassis of a Pacific, and I built the body, the cab, and the tender, and put 2 24-volt motors in it. And I put 25 pounds of lead weight in the front of it. A guy who has lead poisoning asked for lead shot for Christmas. But I need to hold the front end down. But that baby, I did that because the live steam guys say, oh, no, battery power is all a joke. It's like I showed them. I got a Phoenix sound in it. And there's videos of it on my North Table Creek thing, too.
We on our 7.5-inch gauge club down here, we got elevation. We go up and down and.
Oh yeah, yeah. But see that's a myth. They do work. Yeah. See, there you go. See how high it is now. And that retaining wall is where the old train was, and the bushes, that the track in the back, the raised loop in the back, is right on top of, or right next to the main line, the double main line for the
old layout.
The old layout, yeah.
Yep.
And see, I made a ramp right there so you could run the riding mower up and over it. And so the hard thing was getting that whole curve. I had to find 2 or 3 guys to help me carry that curve to move it around to where it was going to be. I didn't want to take time to take it all back apart.
Well, you invite them over to run trains. When they get there, say, hey, we got to move this first.
Yeah, by the way.
While you're here.
But yeah, in the back you can see that's about 2.5, well, maybe almost 3 feet. A table, and your kitchen table is 30 inches. A chair is 18 inches. See, we have all these standards we have to go by in building construction. And so I just wanted to make it comfortable. Matter of fact, I had a couple of live steam guys come by this summer, and they said that they were very happy with this track. But what's funny is their steam engines ran out of fuel at the highest point here.
Of course,
it never runs out at some place that's comfortable. How do you protect the wood that the track is? If you go to your roofing company or Menards or someplace, underneath the track, you get 30-foot rolls that are 3 feet wide of ice and water shield. And so you can roll along there, and you fold it over. First I used 3/4 plywood, but the heat and that black stuff was getting too hot, and it's making my plywood warp. So I went to Oriole OSB 3/4-inch tongue and groove flooring, which is a lot cheaper. And so then I put it down, it sticks down, and then you fold it over the edges, and then I take cedar and I paint it on both sides, and I take my 1/4-inch staple gun to where the ballast doesn't wash off. So any wood has to be protected. And we have termites real bad. Those posts I dump a scoop of cement in. They're only about 18 or 19 inches or 20 inches in the ground. I have a gas auger. But I dump that and I put diazinon in the hole to try to keep the termites, because you can lay a board on the ground and within a month there's termites in it. Our soil in Nebraska is wicked. Now these turnouts I just bought from another guy who had them, and this is code 215 rail, but I shimmed it and raised it. I cannot believe how smooth those are compared to the Aristo number 6s. I just can't. And I have some USA number 6s too, but those are number 10s. And that stack train went through it so smooth and quiet. I just couldn't believe the difference.
Are they Sunset Valley? Do you know?
Sunset Valley, yes.
Okay.
I was going to say that's what it looks like, possibly.
Yeah. And I spray paint my rail because that's a Marty thing. So even my 1-inch train, everybody thought I was nuts for spray. Well, if you spray paint it as you install it, it doesn't. So
You're using an aluminum rail for that, right?
this here, I don't know what this rail. I think this rail was nickel.
No, I'm saying on your ride-on, that's aluminum.
Oh, the
rail?
ride-on's all aluminum rail. Yeah. Yeah, it's 5/8 tall by 5/8 foot. And Robbie was selling it because he got it through MrPictovid, and they were drop shipping it for me. They would take 2 boxes at a time. I was going out to the 1-inch track that's an hour and a half away, and it was costing me, if I go out on a Saturday for work day, and on Sunday was a ride-on day, and I love giving rides to people. That's my favorite thing. And especially when I'm RC battery. Nobody out there had RC battery until I come along. But I could sit there and anyway. But the price of gas for me in a truck going out there twice a weekend, I could buy a box of rail. And that's how I got started in the 1-inch. I thought I could do this stuff. So
he's just sharing his construction method.
okay, slightly different 2x4 or mesh. Oh yeah, good. I went with 2x6s on most of this, except where the bridges are going to be, because again, I tear down people's decks and they want all new. And some of the boards, all you got to do is cut the ends off. They're in good shape. So I'm cheap and easy on some things. I work very hard at being cheap.
I can appreciate that.
Why? You don't want to give away the money you worked for?
Yeah. And see here, you can see where the frost guard is. See how I folded over the edges? I haven't got the sides put on again. And so then I'll balance. The only thing is I don't balance around the switches because the rain falling on it. Oh, and snow melts off this stuff real fast because it heats up. I mean, the snow will be off this track. If I take and scoop it off, if we get 6 inches of snow, I'll take a plastic shovel, scoop it off, leave it down about a ½ inch. And then by 2 days of sun, the entire race layout's dry. And so the little switching area I went ahead and did because I happened to have the retaining wall there, and I wanted to have the grain elevator so I could run my grain cars by it and stuff. And so also the reason I like to, I'm in about 4 or 5 clubs. I'm not active anymore, but I try to participate because I believe in networking. Somebody somewhere has something that somebody else needs. And so every once in a while, somebody asks for parts. Please get online and ask for stuff, because I have a container of black screws I don't throw any black screws away. USA, Aristo, anything. And so, yeah, see, I took that out. There was a crossover there, but I needed the switch. I needed the 2 switches, so I'm going to add another storage area and stuff.
And what kind of stone? What kind of ballast is that again? You're using the stone?
That's number 2 cherry chicken grit.
Number 2 cherry.
I use number 1. Number 1 looks more realistic, but the birds will eat that. The birds don't eat this that much. And so I used to get the highway people, the county uses that on brand new cement when they don't want salt on it the first year. So they use chicken grit. So I find a place that sells the chicken grit. And I have expansion joints. I took 5-foot pieces on my grinder and I ground down and made my own expansion joints and that's why I'm able to lightly nail it all down to keep it straight. I stringline everything, and I like good track work, as good as I can possibly get it. And I noticed that Aristo had changed stuff. When I talked to Steve Google, who helped design the Y switch, I have the original model of that, and he showed how a lot of theirs, that it wasn't Lewis's fault. It was the Chinese company that made it. They made the frogs too deep, and one time they put the guardrails too close, and another time they made them too far away. And so, I was getting pretty. And I like the American style tie pattern. USA has a neutral one. It looks like an American style, but it's spaced based on the European one. And so,
well, they're made at the same place, I believe. They were all our tracks made in the same factory.
Just different specs. Yeah. Charlie Rowe, when their passengers' cars came out, I was thrilled with them. I mean, my wife had to take the checkbook and the credit cards and everything away from me because I wanted a whole set now. And so it took me probably 2.5 years to get a full set of the USA UP streamlined passenger cars. And I went ahead and tinted all the windows. I found some stained glass windows or stained glass spray paint or paint. So I put it in my sprayer, and had Aristo was going out. I bought a bunch of screws. Oh yeah. Well, even ties. I was fortunate. I mentioned I'm looking for some Aristo replacement ties, and somebody said that he was getting out of the hobby, and I bought two cases from him. I didn't want to be greedy, but they were American 12-inch. And at this point, I didn't care what the price was. I couldn't get them anywhere. A lot of this track you're looking at is 20 to 30 years old.
No, the rails are fine. I mean, the ties were the only big issue. I think that one run that they did that they didn't put the UV inhibitor in, that they were all
exactly. When AML came out with their first 6-foot flex track, we were at the Kansas City large scale train show. Dave and somebody was trying to put it on. Well, we all drove down in little cars, and we didn't think of it. We bought cases. The show special was outrageous. Well, fortunately, one guy from our club had a pickup, so he took about 15 cases home with him. But within a couple of years, they all curled, and they threw my rail out of gauge. And I talked to Fred Devine, I think it was. He was the AML representative, and he sent me a case of new ties because they had problems too.
Yeah.
And then Aristo told me when they went to stainless steel, they couldn't get the foot properly, and they would fall out of the ties real easily. And so,
hey Marty, we're gonna do a quick giveaway here.
Great.
We usually, sometimes the guests do a giveeway, but obviously you don't have a company that you're promoting, so I'll give away your choice of lowering bolsters.
Oh, there you go.
So I have FA streamline lowering bolsters, the 40-foot freight car single lowering bolster, or the one with the KD pad, or the 2-bay hopper lowering bolster. Your choice. Shipped to you. Yes, Kyle, I get robbed again.
I'm sorry. Well, I'll be glad to send you some money for that. I'll pay for it.
No, don't worry about it. That's not a problem. But so I guess, what do you want to do? Hashtag
4-track.
Okay. Sounds good.
I was ready for you.
Thank you for once. Jeez. Hashtag 4-track. Yes, there you go. Evan's got it right. No reverse engineering my lowering bolsters, Evan.
Somebody has the Aristo. There was 3 piggyback trailers that had special decals that Mike Vicky, or am I saying that right? Yeah. Anyway, Michael Vicky, yeah. That he made, and I autographed one, Lewis autographed one, and he autographed one. And I've often wondered if somebody has one they want to sell back to me, I'd buy it.
The road railers, is that what you're talking about?
The road railer, yeah, the trailer itself.
I believe Matt Russell has 2 of them. I had one I had sold to him.
Okay.
And then he got it and saw it was signed by you and Lewis and that. And he says, well, I can't, he was going to cut it up into a smaller trailer. So he had to keep it as it was.
Oh, that's. I would like to talk to him and see if he'd buy. Yeah, I would. Here's the agreement to stay married. I love my wife; she's wonderful. But she said, if you're going to buy trains, you need to sell some trains. So I started liquidating, and that's how that ended up being.
Crazy Train 525. It's 4-track, just 1-4, not 44.
Well, there you go.
By the way, Crazy Train, I love the unboxing video of the Bachmann Big Hauler. Keep it up.
Bachmann Big Hauler.
Yeah, he's got a special way of doing unboxing videos. You'll have to watch it.
Oh, okay. Was this smacking it on the ground and stuff? Ripping it open?
It might involve a hand saw.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh. Now, come to think about it, I don't know if that was a full 53-foot trailer or if that was a cut down, because I started doing cut downs, 45-foot trailers to fit on my 89-foot flatbed.
Well, I think Matt has one that's cut down, and then the one I sold him is a full-size road railer still.
Okay. That was a job just trying to mail the thing around to different people, because Vicky Lewis sent me the stuff, and then Vicky sent me the decals, so I had to do all the cars, and I had to sign it. Then I had to send it to one and send it to the other. Then we had to send it back to each other. And so, but anyway, we were trying to get Lewis to do one of those Aristo ones, but he never did.
They had a lot of plans to do other stuff that they never got around to.
Yeah.
So out of curiosity, Marty, how did the special run hoppers for you come about originally, the North Table Creek ones?
Robbie had toyed with the idea, and after I sold some of them, or I gave some away to different friends who came and visited, like Paul, then he asked me about it, and I said, fine, if you don't mind selling the first couple to me for, a little discount. And he was very gracious for that. And so he said, well, I'll try, because it'd be 100 cars. See, AML will do 100, where Bachmann, you have to do 300 for a run, I think he said. And so he said he did a 25 per number, and they're in a cheaper box. They're not in a fancy box. And he said he sold them out in a week and a half. And so he still has people asking. I got people asking me that, well, we didn't even get a chance to buy one. So he's running them again. And so I was very pleased. And Chris Dixon had gotten a couple of them. The sad thing is, when Chris buys stuff, that means somebody's going out of the hobby. And that's just sad.
He's just redistributing the wealth. That's all.
Yeah. But I'd like to see more and more people get into it.
Oh, I agree with you on that.
Yeah. I just don't know how to.
Got to get the younger generations interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, when
Guy Evan.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that a lot of people have multiple hobbies. I have literally one, and I couldn't even do. I can't even do 2 scales. I either do garden trains or ride-on trains. I literally didn't run my garden trains for almost 15 years while I built the 1-inch. And I had the club coming down running on my track, and it's like, well, I'm busy building the 1-inch. And so,
my thoughts on modeling graffiti, I don't like it. Sorry.
I will agree to disagree.
I mean, I completely get with modeling what you see, but like real life graffiti, I mean,
oh yeah,
you're trespassing and everything else.
That's what I mean.
I wouldn't if I went outside and someone graffitied the side of my house. I mean, so
yeah.
Well, that's the way I look at it. It's not your stuff. Don't touch it.
Yeah.
But modeling, I can understand.
Weathering's one of those. I got a car, a double-door boxcar, Chicago Northwestern, with 2 little guys in it, and it has a theme. And I've taken it to model train shows, and I'm the only G car there, and I've won contests, and people get mad. He's not HO. Well, it just says it's a boxcar contest. It doesn't say what scale. But then I turned around and did another car and it looked terrible. But I got people, the whole idea is enjoy it. If you want to try weathering it, go for it. Just enjoy it. You know, people say, what do you do in the wintertime? I said, I'm so busy in the wintertime servicing cars. Do you know how long it took me to 100 cars to lube every one of the Cadies, clean the cobwebs out from under? They were all stored outside for 5 or 6 years.
Dang.
And so get the mouse. I didn't realize mice were living in them. I sold a container train, and some of my containers had the holes cut out of the bottom of them. Well, a guy said that he bought my 5-pack, and then he got home and found out it had a family of mice living in it, in the trunk of his car. And so that was Bob. I think it was Bob Shaw. He said, Marty, I'm going to return your mice to you.
My friend had mice get in one of his passenger cars and decided to eat all the passengers in it in the USA trains. It looked like a murder scene.
Oh, really? Yeah. They eat the wire. I've had them eat the wire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people were missing heads, arms. Yeah, it was like a murder scene.
That's funny. That's incredible. Yeah. See, there's some weathering. So, yeah, you just.
That's Steve Benko weathered all 3 of those cars. Came out
I
very
especially
nice.
like that gondola. That's a nice gondola.
Yeah, you should sell that gondola weathered like that already.
He did. We sold one weathered.
Oh, you didn't have a weathered one?
We had one up in Massachusetts. It's sold.
Now, see, some of my gondolas, I actually went to not Hobby Lobby, but there's another store.
Hobby Town.
Yeah, you paint on steel, and then you put this coating on it. It's real live rust.
Yeah.
And I used to bash the 50, make them into 52-foot gondola cars for Aristo. And so, see, and I thought about buying some of those gondola cars, but then I got Chris and called me up. And it sold me some really cheap. And so I bashed them and I made them into maintenance way cars for North Table Creek.
That car's 3D printed there, Marty.
Yes. I seen you advertising them. So, but.
Yep.
Marty, I have Boss Shots collect. Oh, you have really? That's
Kenny.
That's terrible. I'm sad to know that. I always wanted to buy my stack train back from him, but now I don't have enough room. His son had gotten really sick at one of my open houses, and he had to leave early with it. And so.
Just so you know, Nico, your gondola survived. As did the Ollie Valley flat cars. They're in one piece, too.
TTX Black Railgun version. Interesting. Yeah. That's an interesting concept.
I'll have to talk to Kenny sometime and see what he's got if he's interested in partying with anything. So, yeah, Bob he was a good guy. I liked his layout, too.
I did repairs for him.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Yeah. I had his engine for almost a year during COVID because Phoenix wouldn't send me his board back.
Sure?
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. See, when COVID came, I was remodeling a rest home into a drug rehab thing. We had to remodel 18 bathrooms, and I was the general contractor there. And so what I told I was reading stuff too. Okay. I told the people, the plumbers, electricians, drywallers, all the other subs, I said, you guys don't have to wear masks as long as you promise me you're going to go right home and not go out in the public and come back. And so not a single person during COVID, that 6 months of us remodeling that place, did anybody get sick on that job. The only one we couldn't control was the fire marshal. Matter of fact, the sprinkler company agreed to deliver to the house of their employees all the materials they needed to do our sprinkler system. And then they came up. So we had the fire marshal, electrician, and the building inspectors, the only guy, or electrical inspectors, the only guys that I could not control. But not a single person got sick over that whole job, and we got the job done.
I don't like this negativity.
Yeah. Who said that?
Cruel.
Or you say that? Oh.
No, he said, how many stacked cars is too many? I said, I don't like that negativity.
Oh,
You
okay.
can never have too many.
Yeah. I'm looking for a 3-pack. Does anybody have a 3-pack?
They still have them at USA.
Well, they do. I asked Robbie. He said he's sold out of them.
Yeah, USA still has them available.
Okay, because I have room just for one 3-pack, and I've never had a 3-pack before, so I just got to say, yeah.
Yes.
So.
All right, you want to do the drawing?
Yep, we can do that.
Sure.
See who's going to be our lucky winner tonight.
Do a drawing, and I would like to know why are containers on stack cars so expensive? They used to be so cheap that you could play, and they were just put them around the layout.
Because people get crazy with buying stuff.
Just a little bit.
It's insane.
Hey!
Oh!
Speaking of Evan.
I guess he is going to reverse engineer this. I'm just kidding.
Let me know what you want, Evan, which lowering kit, and send me your address. What is it, info at? You want to show that address thing there?
Yeah, I can do that. Let me find it. Info at largescaletrains.com.
Yeah. Send which kit you want and your address, and I'll get that sent out to you.
And I also want to say, over the years, I've got so many friends and relationships that I look at my last 20 years of my life as, even with all the sicknesses and the problems I've had physically, the relationships with the railroaders, garden railroad people, have been just outstanding. It's just, I just am sad. I told you guys at the preliminary thing that it's sad when I see how many people who are not with us anymore. So, two things.
Yeah, we lost a lot of people, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean,
now, I do talk to JJ. JJ's still around. He's helping. He's living with his sister, helping her. She's not doing too good down in Arizona. John Jubilees. JJ, Black Hat. Anyway, he's from the old guys, the old days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I saw earlier, Marty, that you did some modifications to your RDCs. You're having some issues with them?
I wasn't, but I could feel my track is in really great shape. But when I got a car or an engine apart, I try to do as much as I can. I body mount them. I took and the problem is on the bolster on the RDC. Some people say they don't track very good and they derail very easily. Well, they don't have lateral side-to-side motion the way it's designed. So I took and popped mine loose, and I didn't want to unplug it and untape all the wires. So I took a 4-inch side grinder and I lightly sanded down or ground down a beveled edge on each side of the bolster. So now I got a little bit of play in there. Right? Yeah, that's perfect. See, that thing there should be at an angle. And if Lewis was still around and I was still, and Navin and I was still communicating, if I would have got that run, then I would have, right there, I would have said, you need to change your mold to that. And that little bit of shaving gives you enough side to side, because right now the truck is relying on the one rear axle that has a pivot, and it's relying on the springs. Well, that's not enough for that long of a car. The longer the car, the more stiffness it has. You know, short cars, like little ore cars, they can track over anything.
Now, when you screw that back on, do you have to leave the screws loosened up some so it's got a little bit of wobble, or?
No, it'll still. No, I haven't personally.
Okay.
I usually just, the screws that screw up in the top of those.
Right.
I usually just leave those a little bit loose. Those.
Right.
And if you leave them a little bit loose, it allows it to float.
Exactly. But see, I by doing there again, that's just me. But that I spent probably 20 minutes trying to get that stupid screw out of there. I was so mad. It was stripped from the factory. But there again, I had another screw. I am 38 years old. Lost my dad.
That's somebody you know, I'm assuming.
Oh yes, yeah. I think that's Bo.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Anybody who wants to ever get a hold of it. My article on Garden Railway, I had my phone number in there. Several people thought I was nuts. But I had recorded, if I remember right, there's only 26 people over the next 2 years that called me. And most of them all became good friends because they said, thank you for having your phone number. Now I can call and actually get help from somebody. And if I can't answer the question, I know plenty of garden railroaders. I built a live steam track in the backyard or in the back behind the shed. And my wife one night counted, I think it was 26 or 27, over a 3-day weekend, we had 26 live steamers running. And I don't even own a live steamer at that time. Yeah. But the one guy who from aristo-craft, he had one leg at Dave something, and he did all the service work for aristo-craft. And he came to a couple of my open houses just to help people tweak their live steamers and make them run better. It was incredible watching that guy work.
Yeah, when you know your stuff, it's always
yes. So, and I don't know how many kids have said, "Boy, I wish you were my dad." I said, well, I got 4 sons that literally all they know is if I die, they know what they want. When I started selling my trains, my third son, who's a farmer, he manages a bunch of acres for a guy. And he asked for 2 of my -9s, and he knew their numbers. I want engine number such and such or whatever. And I was like, wow. I said, as long as I'm alive, I don't want you to sell them. You can sell them after I pass away. But if I ever get back into them. So I borrowed them for a while until I got restocked up on engines. Now I don't know how many engines I want. I don't want to count them either. So that 8444, I had talked to Robbie one time. He said, Marty, that particular number, because I have black and white photos of that engine when I had my 10-speed bike. I grew up with 8444, and that's when they had it numbered that. And so he went ahead, and I actually went to the bank and borrowed money for it. People borrow money for jet skis. They borrow money for campers and stuff. It's like, why not borrow money for a one-time purchase of an engine,
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. And I got a 90-day note for it and my banker, and that was my goal. I didn't buy anything else. I got it paid off. And so there you go. Now that well car, I took and glued some sides on. I was trying to make a different style of well car.
There's some road railers.
Yeah.
That's another one Bachman should do.
Now, see, I never knew what a road railer was until Aristo came out with it, because here in the Midwest, we never seen them. And so, yeah, this is on the radar. Let's see, give me a collection of 88 years old. Yeah.
Luckily, my son is very into it, so
that's good. Well, they will until they get in girls and
trucks. My trains are going.
Yeah. My wife, when we got engaged, she didn't know I had been involved in trains. We never really talked about it. We met at a Bible school. We were doing missionary work and stuff. But then we bought a first house. It's like all of a sudden she's going, oh my God, I got to get all this stuff out of my parents' house. What is this? What did I marry? I didn't just marry a nerd. I married a model railroader, and that's lower than a nerd.
My wife didn't exactly know either, but she's been very adaptable to it. She loves all the people that we meet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My wife, some of the ladies, they brought her birthday cakes. Sometimes her open house is right around September 20th when that's her birthday and stuff. And so
are those custom built cars?
What's that?
The container car. There was one.
It has like a 60,000 plastic on the side, and then I put the vertical ribs on it.
Oh, so that's just USA Trains, and you added.
Yeah, it is. It's just got a side piece, and I didn't get decals for it. Usually, if I do a terrible job, then I weather it real heavily.
Right there. Oh, go a little further.
Yeah.
Right there.
All the one with no containers in it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, so. And then I did an article when containers are cheap. I took a 20-foot blue one and cut it down and made it into instead of 48 as a 53-footer. And I did an article for that. tires on road raider cracked. Where did I get substitute? Oh, Andrew Miller. Ted, Andrew Miller, he made me some garden metal catwalk plastic ties. And I sent one of my road railers to him and he completely scanned it. And he sent me back and I bought it because it was a lot of effort. And so he makes the road railers and he makes the tires for them and the wheels, all 3D printing. Dwight Miller.
Okay.
Does he have a website or?
No.
I've seen him on Facebook.
Yeah, he's on Facebook a lot.
Oh, I'm
Last
actually,
I knew, he was doing those fancy white refrigerator cars for somebody that they go from coast to coast. The Fruit Express. They have to sell, But no, he borrowed that from me and he sent me wheels, tires, everything. I just couldn't believe it. So you should be able to get those if you contact him. I don't think he mind giving me the name. I do ask permission for people if they do something for me and if it's okay if I publish it. And so, but no, I've been, I don't know. Someday, I'll never build a house. Taxes are just outrageous. I got 4 acres of untillable ground in a 125-year-old house, and we pay a little over $1,200 a year for taxes. Out on the golf course, they're paying $4,000 and $5,000 for lots with a house on it. And so I don't know what taxes are around your guys' place, but
up in New Jersey, you could get up to especially like towards New York, $20,000 for an acre.
Yeah. Oh,
One of our family friends was paying $23,000 a year in taxes.
Yeah, it's just to plow the snow and keep
No plowing snow, no nothing. You got to do all that yourself. It's just taxes.
Oh. Well, I got a guy just up the road from me. He's got his own construction company, bulldozers and grading. So if we get drifted in, Brian will come down here with his 650 bulldozer. He'll clean it out before the county gets here.
It's nice to have friends like that.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know how many times. That's why my ride-on train has Barrett Canyon. It's named after the company Kevin Barrett, Dusty, now his son. Dusty comes down, and I buy 15 tons of half to 3/4 ballots for my. See, he's paying $14,000 for taxes. We always bought the ugliest house on the block, and that's how it was my second job. So I do remodel for people. Now I'm the old guy. I'm the one that the fire marshal is younger than my oldest son. He's 40 now. And so I was redoing the bank a couple of years ago, and it's like he came in and I told him what I needed him to look at. He said, "Okay, thank you, Mr. Cozad," and walked out. It was so funny. Once you get a certain age, nobody questions you. You can say anything you want almost. The courthouse, 3 years ago, we remodeled the district attorney's office up there. And I told the building inspector, I said, "How come we don't have an architect? This is a government building. It's on the historical registry, and it's a public and all this here." And he just said, "Marty, just go do it." Basically, he got overrode by somebody. So I don't know what happened, but it's a small town. If you know the right person, you can get anything done.
We have 5 minutes left.
Okay.
I don't know if there's anything any other topics you want to cover in the last 5 minutes, Marty, or is there anything?
I want to encourage everybody to be happy with what you have. There's always somebody bigger. There's always more money out there. But if you enjoy it, then that's your fulfillment. Be happy with it. Share it with people and stuff. This hobby that's what my wife likes about it. It's not a bunch of guys in the basement talking about their wives and stuff. It's wives and husbands out there having cookouts and get-togethers. I would love to have someone close by on Friday night, call me up Thursday. "Hey, Marty, it's not going to be windy tomorrow. Can we come down and run trains Friday night?" Yeah, I said, "I'll put some burgers on and brought the stuff on the grill and let's come on down. That doesn't happen anymore. COVID killed a lot of stuff.
We, luckily, like I said, my son's into it. So me, my son, usually my wife will go outside and we get a fire going at the fire pit and just sit outside and watch the trains go around.
It is. It's wonderful. Yeah, and stuff. And so, yeah, that's what I'm grateful to everybody, and thank you, Nick, and stuff. And so,
does anybody have any questions for Marty before we finish? Anybody out in the audience?
Well, if somebody has a topic where, hey, how do you mount this on couplers? We can all. I'm open to do. I like doing clinics. I used to do a lot of different clinics and stuff. Bridge building, from steel to wood, how to proportion something based on a picture. I still have all my photos. Because at one time I went to, what do you call it? It's on the computer, laptop, PowerPoint. I used to do PowerPoint. But I also I still have all my photos that I used to share with people. And here's the before and here's the after photo. See? And they don't realize that the garden railroad has to grow and mature in itself. And so, yeah. So, yeah, I'm grateful.
Well, everybody.
And they can always get a hold of me I'm on Facebook, my name, I'm on, whatever. Thank you. Oh, Sierra, I stretched my Sierra car. I put 2 Sierra cars together. That's named after my daughter and my granddaughter and my wife. Or not my daughter-in-law, I mean. Daughter-in-laws are a whole new area after you have boys. Wow.
I took 2 of the baggage cars, the combine cars, and made a baggage car.
Oh, did you? Oh, cool. Oh,
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Because they never made a baggage car. They had the combine, the passenger car, and the observation.
Right.
So I took 2 of the combines and made a baggage.
If you know where Omaha, Nebraska is, I'm in Nebraska City. I'm 45 minutes south of Omaha, Nebraska, in the southeast corner. The ride-on train is all grown over. We had a wet spring this year, and I lost track of the weeds, and it's got crabgrass everywhere. The track's still there and everything. But the garden trains are running anytime. And I tell people, if you're heading to Nebraska one time, Jerry Barnes and some of us wanted to line up an I-80 corridor. We had at least 8 garden railroads along the Interstate 80 from Iowa and Nebraska that somebody could stop and visit. And we wanted to line up an I-80 corridor group, but we never was able to get it to work right. Because he was in Lexington, I was down here. There's people in Des Moines and stuff. And so, but if you're ever in this area, you can email me or get a hold of me, and I'd love to have visitors.
I don't think I have any plans to go to Nebraska anytime soon. So
no, Nebraska's pretty boring.
But you should come out to our show in Ohio. We would love to have you do a clinic. That would be awesome.
Oh yeah.
That's in
How far is I'd have to look and see how well we can always talk about that. I got invited to the Northeast one a couple of years ago, but at that time that was right about the time I found out about my back problem. And the problem is even though I got insurance, I'm still making payments, on your stupid and even though I'm on Medicaid now, I still got hospital bills from my past.
Yeah, those things like to follow you around.
Yes.
Way too much. Unfortunately.
Well, at the East Coast show, I think, we drove up. No, I mean, the Midwest show, we drove up there. But East Coast show, Lewis someone had got a block of rooms for different people. So we didn't have to pay as much of a regular price for rooms. So I could fly in and, I was picked up by somebody and then, several of us shared rooms and stuff, and that's always good. I don't mind that.
We're a little bit closer. We're Ohio.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah, like I said, if you would love to do, if you want to come up and do a seminar and something, we'd love to have you. So.
Okay. Even though some of it's in the past, But see, you see what I'm sharing now, guys. When I've gotten so used to doing that, for a while I was doing prison ministry until COVID came along, and we're only allowed to share 20 minutes. So I got to where I could do a Bible study start to finish in 20 minutes because of my clinics with this. And nobody wants to go to prisons. They're all afraid of it. These guys are all decent guys. They know they did the wrong thing, but they're trying to live right, and they want to get out and help society. So what you see on the news is not always true. And so
I could.
but you have to go through all this legal crap to get into the state prisons and stuff. So, but I'm new here.
All right. Well, we're at 9 o'clock. So, yeah, we'll talk to you, Marty, see if we could get you out for Ohio. And, if you'd like to do a clinic or just come on out.
That sounds good. I'd have, you have my wife. I don't know if she goes to craft fairs and I'm, when she goes to museums, she has to read every stupid sign. So I'm gone before. And so, but me, no, I would love to do that. If we don't plan it, it doesn't get done.
Yeah, we'll reach out. I'll send you some info, or Andrew will send you some info. And
great. And I appreciate you guys doing this show too. It's good.
Thank you, Marty. It was great having you.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks again, Marty.
Take care.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Hope to see you next month. Do you want to announce who the guest is?
November 30th. And if I say his name right the second time, I love it. Evan Grice will be our guest that you've seen in the chat a few times tonight.
And he was also the winner.
And also wow, that's a real coincidence there, Nico.
Yeah.
There you
go. All right. Have a good evening, everyone, and we'll see you next month.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.